Babylon, we found our brothers here.
A higher gatherer. Whoa. Issachar the Mexicans. We're the elders of the Gathering of Christ Church here with our weekly broadcast every Wednesday on The Watch. And I couldn't find a better time than this evening, Wednesday evening, to bring in Gaja. The elders are here. All praises be to the Most High. Hey, Wednesday night used to be a deep night, especially over in the UK. Dropping what? The search engine. But guess what? It's all deeper. It's a way deeper spirit in the name of Ahaya Bashim Yeshaya, where we walk on this journey. Hey, for years, there's been many things that we've encountered since the inception of this church, but the Most High have worked through the leadership as well as the brethren and sister who have endured to do what? To build a foundation in preparation for what's about to go down. Hence the reason, brothers and sisters, I had to bring in Gaja tonight. I had to bring him in tonight, and I'm going to tell you what. The man went from not believing anything at all, and I started doing some research on these radio shows, the black urban shows, and that's where Gaja came in, not believing in the Bible or God at all. What was that? It seems like it doesn't matter whether it be in the United States, the UK, or any Western world country where our people reside, they have black radio or urban radio. And it's almost the same model. The same model. You go into the radio station, everyone is talking about everything they would like outside of really what the community needs, as if it's a political, not a spiritual, a political mouthpiece of control over the black communities, whether it be in America or the UK. I seen a common thread. Another thing I seen is that they're more so established more so towards what? Adverts and what the advertisers want, more so than what our people need. But yet they roll it out to everyone as if these radio stations is a place for unity, to unite the black community. And it was set up to do what? The exact reverse. What is that? What type of model is that? We're going to talk about that a little later. But guess what? I wanted to bring in Gaja because why?
That might be fun.
This is what's going on in the earth, and I started out with what? I started out with, hold on, make sure I got everything here. I don't want to miss anything here. I started out, brothers and sisters, let me get it here. I started it out with, let me show you here, the baptisms. I started that out with the baptisms, showing that this is going on throughout the four corners of the earth. And I thank all the men of the Most High, the women of the Most High who have endured so that we can bring souls to the Almighty. What are we witnessing here? What are we witnessing? Okay, let me show more. Let me show more. Not just that video. I showed the video earlier, but there's some other things I wanted to show. Right? Let me pull it up here. Not just that one. Let me pull this out here, because I'm going to show y'all exactly. Here it is right here. Boom. Look at that right there. Pow. Folks, tell me the Most High isn't gathering Israel throughout the four corners of the earth. Our first baptism in Tokyo. In Tokyo. servants of the Almighty, adding souls to Christ's kingdom. Yeah, And this gospel shall be preached throughout the four corners of the earth, and then the end shall come. You have the Anu tribe who went into Asia, into different parts of Japan and China from the diaspora when the 10 tribes left Samaria. We have found our brothers and sisters who were baptized, who's going to what? Spearhead the ministry in Asia before it's over. And we thank the servants who have stood tight to save souls despite all of the roadblocks and anything that can come in to attempt to deter the work of the Most High. More souls have come to Christ. How you doing, elders? How y'all doing? Elder Lawyer, talk to me.
Shalom, sir. I'm doing well. Doing well. Glad to be here. How about yourself?
I am blessed by the Almighty. The reason why I have them on an open microphone, because I wanted to make sure we can all hear each other. All right? Because I have Gaja coming through Zoom. Blessings, Gaja. How are you?
Shalom, elders. Blessings, man. Praise the Most High. Good to be here. Ready to go. Ready to go.
Blessings. And how's the family?
Hey, man. Everyone's blessed, man. Praise the Most High.
All right. And you know what it does to me, my brother, when I see souls going into that water, making that agreement with Christ.
Yes.
When I see, go ahead.
Just a correction. The sisters, that was Hong Kong.
Hong Kong,
yeah.
Not Tokyo. Hong Kong, China. Okay.
But we did have a baptism in Okinawa a few months ago.
There it is.
Tokyo. Japan is getting the truth is in Japan. So we're doing it. You know?
So we baptized Okinawa, Japan, right? Yeah. And then we have here. This was actually Hong Kong, China.
Yes, sir.
Look at that. I was still stuck with you saying that we have some people in Japan, but China, Almighty before his return. And yes, we're coming into the last trump. Speaking of the last trump, diving right in, right? Before I go in, Elder Lawyer, please explain to the brothers and sisters what to expect week 3 of the Academy this evening. Elder Lawyer, can you explain what our brothers and sisters can look forward to this Sunday?
Yes, sir. So first and foremost, the title of discussion this coming Sunday for the Academy is The Flood to the Tower, Exposing All Gentile Religions. So we're going to get the opportunity to study from a biblical perspective the origin of the different religions that you may see from the ancient world. Also, you're going to see some correlations in the modern world. We're going to see what the testimony of Enoch has to say concerning the origin of evil, the origin of certain wicked practices that arose in the earth in the ancient world, and again, are still magnified, celebrated, and practiced in the new world. So all of that and more will be discussed in our lesson week 3, The Flood to the Tower, Exposing All Gentile Religions. If you're interested in the Hebrew and Bible Academy, go to historytimes.org. All the information you need will be there. Again, that's historytimes.org.
Historytimes.org to enroll. And brothers and sisters, let's jump right in. As you can see, the topic of discussion, I'm going to tell you, the Academy is off the chains. And we're still taking enrollment, so come on in. You'll get the first 2 weeks of everything, the news. And after you see what we drop in tonight, the news, the Hebrew 101, like none other than the earth, teaching you the foundation of learning the original Hebrew language, and it transfer into, even if you deal with the modern Hebrew, it helps you understand that also. And guess what? The lessons are not like anything you've ever experienced learning the Bible. Go to historytimes.org to enroll. Now, let's talk about our topic tonight. Let's go in. Now, we're going to do things a little different tonight, my brothers and sisters. Because sometimes our topics through the Holy Spirit go long, and there's so many intervals when it comes to we can have 3 or 4 topics out of one broadcast. But I thought it would be easier if we can break it into 3 separate sections that have what? Timestamps. So that if someone wants to jump directly to when the subject change, the timestamps will be there, right? So to help the future viewership when you come to see the videos over. So tonight we're dealing for infiltration. Tonight you'll understand, brothers and sisters, the model we see in the earth today when it comes to religion, politics, as well as the last model they're using for insurrection, immigration. It's all the Bible. The Babylonian model for infiltration. The first part we're going to talk about, we're nearing the last Trump, is Trump. Number 1, Trump. What are they keeping from Americans when it comes to international news? That's number 1, Trump. Number 2, y'all gonna like this, y'all. Esau's confessions. Esau's confessions, quite interesting. Number 3, the Trojan horse strategy. These are the 3 points we're going to hit on tonight that will give our brothers and sisters full understanding as to where we are and what's going on prophetically. And at the end of it, what can we do? Okay, what I like to do is bring real-time prophecy so that when you see the news or see whatever, you don't go with exactly what they are trying to do with the news. You see in between the news with prophecy. And by doing so, prepare. Well, first and foremost, let's go here. Number 1, Trump. What's going on? Fair use.
After the United States went to war to stop Iran from advancing its nuclear program, the U.S. is reportedly inking a deal to allow Saudi Arabia to create a nuclear program.
The agreement between the 2 nations supports the creation of a civilian nuclear power program in Saudi Arabia. Relations between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia have been strained because of the war with Iran, and there are questions about whether international inspectors would have full access to nuclear sites inside Saudi Arabia, and if all of this could lead to the Middle Eastern nation diverting fuel to create a weapons program. NBC News White House correspondent Monica Alba joins us now. Monica, what more can you tell us about what this deal entails and how it was reached?
Well, this is an interesting one, Kate and Christine, because of course it has really important implications, but we don't have the full picture yet of what this entails from the U.S. side of things. We know, according to a senior administration official, that the Trump administration is expected to announce that it has reached this deal with Saudi Arabia at some point later today. But there are a lot of pressing questions about exactly how it would work, and it appears that American companies would be responsible for building up this new nuclear infrastructure within Saudi Arabia. But this would also have to go to Congress for approval, guys. But what's important about that is that it would be pretty difficult for lawmakers to block it. It would have to meet a pretty high veto-proof threshold in order to do that. But I think there will likely be questions, since this has been something where the leadership of Saudi Arabia has said that they would not seek to try to build a nuclear weapon necessarily with this kind of program. But they have also said that if Iran tries to, that they reserve the right to potentially do that. So all of that will need to be addressed, guys.
And Monica, this is all happening at a time when Iran's nuclear program is at the heart of the current war. So why does the administration believe it's acceptable for Saudi Arabia to develop a nuclear program?
Yeah, and that is the critical question here. And according to Saudi Arabia, again, they want to do this for economic purposes, for energy cost purposes, and to really approach it from that perspective. But Secretary of State Marco Rubio was asked exactly that, and he said that the U.S. would never support anything that would amount to proliferation of a potential nuclear weapon, that is the aim and the goal with respect to Iran, and would also apply to Saudi Arabia in that hypothetical sense. Christina Kate.
All right. Monica Alba, thank you so much for that.
We thank you for watching, and remember,
And
stay
we
updated on
yeah. Just hold tight, young man, and learn something. All right. Y'all heard that. Elder Lawyer, did you hear that news that came out of nowhere?
I did hear that news. Yes, sir.
Saudi Arabia is getting the nod to build nuclear weapons as an opposition against Iran. Is this not second Esdras? Huh? Is this not the prophecies that were given to our people? Folks, a little over 500 years before Christ was born, this time was seen by the prophet Ezra. So they're not telling people. Guess what, folks? They're keeping people distracted. Why are they allowing nukes in the Middle East when I thought that countries in the Middle East couldn't build nuclear missiles outside of Israel? And how is it that they're guaranteeing that Congress is going to fast track this when anything that need to get done for our people here is always filibustered or ignored altogether? So don't claim that you don't got no money or claim that you can't do things for the people of your country when out of nowhere you can approve nuclear missiles for who? For the United Emirates. That's right. And Saudi Arabia. That's right, folks. Esau and Ishmael. So what does this mean? First of all, if any of you have anything to say on that, I can give it to you first, Elder Lawyer, then you, Elder Gadja.
No, sir. Nothing here.
What about you, Gadja?
Yes, for me it don't make no sense. Like, how does Congress approve nukes in a country that's not theirs? You get me? It don't make no sense. Nukes already there. You get me? There's nothing. What we talking about here? It's foolishness. You with me?
Yeah.
So when the news come on and are talking about them approving, it's already there. Everything that you see going on right now with that area, and I'm sure you're gonna touch on it. Yeah, not only just prophecy it related to, right? It has really no bearing on the western side of the world and where we are in terms of it is like one of the biggest Hollywood flicks going on right now. No, let me just digress real quick.
Go ahead.
The western side of the world, from Venezuela all the way up to the United Kingdom, right,
Go ahead.
does not need Middle Eastern oil. They don't need it. Trump has Venezuela, the Black Sea in England has oil, Canada has oil, America got oil reserve. There's no need for that. So with the crap going on in the Strait of Hormuz, and we're saying, oh, the oil price have to go up now, man. It has nothing to do with it. This is a direct strategy, I believe, right? I believe direct strategy to collapse the world economy, to collapse it as we know it right now, to implement a new order, the new world order. That's what they're doing right now. So this talk about Congress approving nukes in sorry, it's horse manure.
Well,
Total horse manure.
okay. Well, let's put it in context for those. And I'm going into the Bible in a minute. Elder Lawyer, make sure you grab that out of Esdras for me. About those bombs, those stars moving around, right? We're going straight to Esdras. We're going to the 15th chapter and the 16th chapter of Esdras. Right? Let me know when you have it, Elder. Because I'm going to show the prophetic side of this, but you're right, and you're right on point. This is really not about whether or not the oil resources will dry up for the United States, but they're going to make the Americans believe that there's what? That there's no oil reserves as a form of control. Once they bagged the Venezuelan president, they got all the oil they needed. That's why they went there first. But the whole deal is the artificial scarcity can now have them balance the oil prices that keeps the people at bay when it comes to what? Not being able to maximize their earn. Oil controls all of that because why? If those trucks do not bring the oil, guess what? The oil comes through trucks. Think about that. And planes and ships. So it slows everything down, which makes all product left what? Shoot through the roof. So that's why you see all your products getting smaller and smaller, because they're claiming they are what? They are reserving the economy based on a lack of oil reserves. So once they do this and say, hey, this Middle East thing is happening, they can shut things down, only give you a few gas stations to use or petrol stations to use. And at that point, it lowers everything when it comes to product, including food, which leads to the famine. It's a way of control. Now, the question is, why are they doing so much panicking in a sense to try to control the economy? Well, brothers and sisters, this is where we come in. God's people has awakened. And they have no control over the Most High communicating with his people. You see the baptisms. So they're going to try to use austerity and warfare and all of that as a... And what have I said for years, brothers? Even elders, I said this. And what have I said for years, brothers? Even elders, I said this for years. Folks, let me tell you, if they could have destroyed us hand to hand, physically, they would have done it already. Hand to hand, physically, they would have done it already. But all the other tactics, it's them. The invisible man. It's them. The invisible man. Eugenics, feminism, I'm going to go into that, Marxism, all these different systems to destroy the family, abortion, all of these things were tactics where if they could get stuff shot in our bloodstreams, then there would be no need to engage us face to face. And it was effective as long as we believed them. As long as we believed them, all of their behind the curtain tactics were effective. But now we don't trust them. We don't trust them. In Israel, the state of Israel, they call it the Samson option. If we can't control the system, we'll put our hands between both of the pillars, Republican and Democrat, and crash the whole darn thing down. If these people won't allow us to rule over them willfully, we'll take ourselves out with them. Folks, this is what they are agreeing with, brothers and sisters, Middle East, with Saudi Arabia. Because it's insane to say you want to stop Iran from making a missile, and now you're going to give Saudi Arabia more missiles? I need y'all to think. So I need y'all to critically think what's going on, because set up the ministries all over the earth. And in that, guess what? You're going to always have people who tag on to us not truly believing the gospel or understanding the mission because they weren't called from the beginning to understand it. So they'll tag along through tenure to get some level of credibility to try to pull people who believe what we teach into their folly. And I'm going to say that because without us, there is no traction. And I'm saying this, brothers and sisters, that's what you all have to take heed to. Always see the work in front of you and understand who the Most High have called to do what we're doing. And guess what? He's continually, he's continually communicating with his servants who are on the path to get all people in preparation with their white robes before his return. Look at here. What did I tell y'all? Before I go into that, Elder Lawyer, because I know you're holding that for me, right? Chapter and verse. Put that out there for everyone first.
Yep, 2 Ezra 15 and 28.
15 and 28, I need you to hold that. And I need y'all to check this out as we segue to the next part in one moment. I told people, look at this. I've been checking out international travel. Jordan flight cancellations continue as Iranian attacks disrupt air travel as of July 21st, as of yesterday. And they are pinpointing what? The Western, listen here, the Western countries in particular, going back to America, UK, and other areas, it's hard to get back, travel at all from the airport is shut down, but let alone get back to the West. Now, so so that y'all cannot claim you didn't hear it here first, okay? It's 8:37, Wednesday, July 22nd, 2026. Okay? I told people years ago when they was letting troops in the United States, calling them what? Migrants. Allegedly. I said, listen, they're bringing in people from other countries to destabilize America because America has guns. Every citizen, the majority of the citizenry is armed. Right? I also said, listen, what they're going to do once they strike Iran, the American people aren't going to want to be a part of this because it's Israel's fight until America lose soldiers. And that's going to give them the moral high ground to go full, I'm going to tell you, full metal jacket on Iran. Then they should say, they're publishing it all over the place that they just lost 2 soldiers. And guess what? They dropped soldiers in Iran on foot yesterday. So remember I told y'all, I said this stuff years ago, folks. Their playbook, it's all scripture. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen now. Guess what, brothers and sisters? According to the Iranians, you would never guess the highest, listen to this, the highest, who would be the more valued hostages for the Iranians? Americans. This stuff is getting real, folks. And guess what? When they start to anyone, wherever you live overseas, it's automatically given to the police. So they know where all the Americans are who are in particular areas in, that's right, the Arab countries. And these people become high collateral during a time of war. So I try to warn people, and people try to think that, okay, who he think he is? Hey, the Most High ain't only dealing with him. Listen, it's your life. We're all adults. But guess what? Don't try to blame me when something go down with a full adult who claim that the Most High was dealing with them as to why they're in the scenarios and the situations they're in. Several flights at Jordan's Queen Aliyah International Airport have been canceled amid continuing Iranian attacks. I told you all. Sirens rang out across Amman on Monday evening, warning people at aerial threat. Jordanian military later said its air defense system intercepted 3 incoming Iranian missiles. No material damage or casualties was caused by the interception, authorities said, without specifying the target of the attack. Okay, now guess what? They're also, this is why they're going into the nuclear, really allowing the nuclear missiles that are already there to be shared, if you really want to know, by Saudi Arabia. This is why, folks. Understand this, folks. They understand it's about to get crazy over there. It's about to get crazy over there. They're doing this because why? Iran is disturbing flights, the Strait of Hormuz, all of that, and are threatening to knock out the aquifer systems in the deserts where none of these countries can survive because they built it within a desert without the aquifer systems that actually water the deserts. That's what they threaten to do. And Iran claim, and this is prophecy, we ain't on either side. We just got popcorn. We're just reporting on it according to the Bible. Okay? Let me make it clear. We're not for Iran. We're not for none of them. We're for the Most High. Let me make that clear. But Iran said that they're not walking into any more agreements. They're not at the table, and it's all out war as far as they're concerned. And no one is talking about that and what that means. But the Bible will tell us. So I tell you what, only thing we can do, the same as prophets in the Bible, is tell the people what the Most High said. That's it. And then walk accordingly, according to the Almighty, for those we are responsible for. But the Russia, missiles and all that. I'm like, listen, Russia is Esau. There's Russians running all over through America, real estate agents and everything. Russia is not the problem. And I said it years ago, according to the Bible, Iran is when the clock strikes midnight. When that began, understand that all the prophecies will unfold that would lead to them what? Locking down the earth eventually, because what? There's not going to be any terrorist attacks or false flags. When they start hitting Iran and all these other countries are going to start doing things to cause disruptions all throughout the West. I said that for over a decade through the Spirit of the Almighty, not because I'm a know-all and all that, because the Bible said it. And I warned the people about it. Elder Lawyer, if you will. Chapter and verse.
Yes, sir. We're in the book of 2nd Ezra 15 and 28.
Let me grab it here. Turn it up a little bit here. 2nd Ezra 15, verse 28. And again, all praises to the Most High, Ahia, in the name of Yeshua, for giving us insight, discernment,
and the inheritance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots.
With many chariots. That's Saudi Arabia. That's Saudi Arabia, folks, with many chariots. So what is Ezra seeing? He's seeing flying machines at a time planes didn't exist. Moving chariots in the air. Moving chariots in the air. Read.
When the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth.
Read.
That all they which hear them may fear and tremble.
Read.
Also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join the battle with them.
Hold up. Let me show people something here. Who shall come? Read.
It says, I'm going to start from 29. When the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear may fear and tremble. Also the Carmanians.
Also the who?
Also the Carmanians.
Also the Carmanians. You heard it here. Listen to it again. Out of the Apocrypha, July 22nd, 2026, the word of the Most High, the word of God. Boom. Who are the Carmanians? The Persians. The Persians. Who are the Persians? Iranic empires. Iran, folks. We're living real time what the Most High showed Esdras some almost 2,500 years ago, if you want to round it off. What are you talking about Russia? Russia is Esau. Russia play on either side just based on sustaining their economy. But at the end of the day, Esdras, boom. Who are the Carmanians? Iran, folks. We're living real time what the Most High showed Esdras some almost 2,500 years ago, if you want to round it off. What are you talking about Russia? Russia is Esau. Russia play on either side just based on sustaining their economy. But at the end of the day, Russia is going to stick with Esau. Okay? That ain't who you have to worry about. You have to worry about Iran according to prophecy. So what will happen with the Carmanians? Read.
Also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians.
And shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. This is what you're seeing now with the bombing of different parts of Israel. The same territory in the Middle East is what they're hitting now. Right? 31.
And then shall the dragons have the upper hand.
Thank you, Tam. Thank you, Tam. Bless you. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, resembling their nature. And you know what their nature is? Their nature is a wild man. Speak of the spirit of Ishmael. Remembering their natures. Because don't forget, Ishmael is not going to sit back either. That's why they're in cahoots with Esau over there to get a nuclear missile. To protect what? Their society. Because their water systems are getting threatened right now. And no one is talking about this, brothers and sisters, on Western American television. And what? Let's read.
It says here, and
And-
then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature. And if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them.
So they're conspiring together in great power to persecute them. So there's infighting in the Middle East